King Charles explains why Zara and Mike Tindall won't be working royals. The British royal family has always been a complex machine, part tradition, part spectacle, part institution. And at its center is King Charles III, who, since ascending the throne, has sought to shape the monarchy for a new era. But with every decision, there comes both clarity and controversy. And one of his most surprising revelations has left many royal watchers stunned. Mike and Zara Tindall, beloved by the public and adored for their down-to-earth charm, will never be working royals. The announcement, though subtle, carried with it decades of history, unspoken tensions, and the king's vision for the monarchy's future. Before diving into the king's reasoning, it's worth remembering why Mike and Zara Tindall hold such a special place in the nation's heart. Zara Phillips, daughter of Princess and granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, was born into royalty but without the burden of a title. And, determined to give her children a freer life, declined titles for both Zara and her brother Peter. This decision gave Zara the freedom to pursue her own passions, most notably equestrianism, where she became an Olympic silver medalist and world champion. Her marriage to Mike Tindall, the former England rugby star, only amplified her popularity. Together, the couple became a symbol of what many admired about the royals: grounded, approachable, and relatable. They laugh, they banter, they appear in reality shows, and yet they're still woven into the fabric of the royal tapestry. Fans have long wondered, why not bring the Tindalls into the fold as official working royals? The answer lies in King Charles's long-standing vision. For years, even before his accession, Charles made no secret of his belief that the monarchy must be leaner, more focused, and more financially sustainable. Gone are the days when dozens of minor royals filled the court circular with endless engagements. Charles wants a core team of working royals: himself, Queen Camilla, the Prince and Princess of Wales, and, in time, their children. Supporting figures like Princess and Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie would remain crucial, but the circle would not expand further. This philosophy is rooted in practicality. The monarchy's funding, through the sovereign grant, comes from public money. And with rising scrutiny on spending, Charles knows every taxpayer-funded role must be justified. Thus, even though Mike and Zara have public appeal, Charles made clear they would never be official working royals. But recently, the king shared the deeper truth behind his decision. According to a trusted palace source, Charles told aides, "Zara and Mike thrive because they are free. They live as themselves, not as representatives of the crown. To make them working royals would be to take away what makes them so loved." This statement reveals the nuance of the king's thinking. The Tindalls' appeal comes precisely from the fact that they are not bound by royal duty. They can appear on podcasts, compete in reality television shows, or speak openly about their lives, something working royals could never do without risk of scandal. By keeping them outside the official fold, Charles preserves both their freedom and the monarchy's integrity. Princess Anne has been a pivotal figure in shaping Zara's life. When Zara was born, Anne declined titles for her children, believing they would find more happiness without the constraints of royal life. Being a royal with a title is a heavy burden. Why would I impose that on my children when they could live freely? Anne's decision, controversial at the time, has proven prescient. Zara grew into an independent woman, a successful athlete, and a relatable royal figure precisely because she was never tied to palace expectations. Charles's decision not to integrate the Tindalls as working royals echoes Anne's philosophy. In many ways, he is simply continuing what his sister began decades ago. When news of Charles's stance became public, reactions were mixed. On one side, many expressed disappointment. The Tindalls are well-liked, with their candid humor and relatable struggles making them a refreshing presence. Social media buzzed with comments like, "Why not bring in Zara and Mike? They're more relatable than half the royals." Mike Tindall is the kind of energy the monarchy needs. On the other side, supporters of the king's vision argued, the monarchy cannot just add every family member to the payroll. Zara and Mike are perfect as they are, part of the family, but not the institution. This debate underscored a deeper question. What should the monarchy look like in the 21st century? How do Zara and Mike themselves feel about the decision? Privately, they are said to be relieved. Friends of the couple shared that Zara has no desire to become an official working royal. Her life revolves around horses, her family, and her independence. Taking on royal duties would mean constant scrutiny, restrictions, and loss of freedom, something she has never wanted. Mike, meanwhile, has carved a niche for himself post-rugby as a television personality, podcaster, and public speaker. These ventures would be impossible if he were a working royal. A friend close to the Tindalls summed it up. They're happiest being on the edge of royalty, not at its center. Charles's decision also reflects the strained state of the wider family. With Harry and Meghan's departure, Prince Andrew's scandal, and his own health challenges, the king faces a smaller roster of working royals than ever before. Some advisors urged him to consider expanding the circle, perhaps by inviting Zara and Mike to take on limited roles. But Charles remained firm. To him, the monarchy's strength lies not in numbers, but in focus. He believes the future rests on William, Catherine, and their children, not on extending duties to cousins and in-laws. Even if not a working royal, Zara still plays a quiet but important role. She and Mike often appear at family events, offering stability and lightheartedness. Zara is especially close to William and Harry, having grown up alongside them at Balmoral and Sandringham. During difficult times, such as Queen Elizabeth's passing, Zara was a source of comfort to her cousins. Observers noted how she remained composed, her presence reminding the public that family ties run deeper than duty. In many ways, Zara embodies what the monarchy cannot officially project: relatability, informality, and warmth. The Tindall situation highlights a paradox at the heart of the modern monarchy. The royals most beloved by the public, those who seem approachable, funny, and real, are often those outside the system. Princess Diana became the people's princess because she broke the mold. Harry and Meghan were adored at first because they seemed modern and different. And now, Zara and Mike are cherished because they live like ordinary people. But the system itself requires formality, hierarchy, and distance. By remaining unofficial, the Tindalls escape its constraints, which ironically makes them more popular. Charles understands this paradox and is using it to the monarchy's advantage. Looking ahead, the king's decision raises intriguing possibilities. Will the monarchy survive with such a slimmed-down team? Can William, Catherine, and their children shoulder the burden alone? Or will future generations reconsider, perhaps inviting Charlotte, Louis, or even cousins into official roles? For now, the Tindalls remain in a unique position, half in, half out. Loved by the public, but not tied to the crown. A reminder that sometimes, freedom is the greatest gift a royal can receive. At first glance, King Charles's refusal to make Mike and Zara Tindall working royals may seem harsh. But upon closer reflection, it is an act of wisdom. By protecting their independence, he preserves what makes them special. He ensures the monarchy remains lean and focused, while still allowing the Tindalls to be part of the family fabric. And perhaps most importantly, he honors the legacy of his sister and who decades ago understood that sometimes the greatest service you can give your children is the freedom to live life on their own terms. So while Zara and Mike may never cut ribbons or open hospitals in an official capacity, their role remains vital. They are the bridge between tradition and normality, reminding the world that behind the crowns and ceremonies lies a family just like any other.